What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video we are going to be doing another tier list, and this is going to be the tier list of the best Galaxy Opals in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. So all I'm going to say is that, again, these are some of the best Galaxy Opals, so almost every card in this list is a good card. Obviously I've thrown some bad cards on the list just so that I can fill out the D tier with cards and not be crucified, because let's be real, if I had a top 50 list and put 10 players in each tier, people would be going crazy if I put a card between 40 and 50. So there are certain cards that are definitely better than some cards in here that aren't on this list. It's just I want to justify putting some cards in D tier. But anyway, yeah, so this is, in my opinion, some of the best Opals. It's only going to be one per player, and I can guarantee you I forgot out on some. So apologies for that. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to 200,000 subscribers as soon as possible. But anyway. Now let's get on to it. So Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is the first player we're going to go with, and he is one of those players I'm talking about. Jason Kidd is terrible. He is absolutely terrible in game. He's got a terrible release. Actually, he does everything else alright, but his release is terrible. One of the worst releases in the game. Even if on half quick draw, it is horrendously bad. It is absolutely terrible. So that is why Jason Kidd's going down D tier. Dave Cowens. Dave Cowens is a good card. I don't think he's this like spectacular card or anything. I think he's a solid card. LaMarcus Aldridge base, good enough release, can play at the 4/5. He's going B tier. Then we're gonna go with James Worthy. So I don't think I've put like Kirilenko or a couple of other LaMarcus Aldridge cards. I think Kirilenko and Worthy, it's all preference you prefer. Most prefer Kirilenko. Me personally, I would take Worthy over Kirilenko. But in terms of overall cards, I like them. I'm gonna put him A tier. I really do. Then you've got Pettit, who is literally like a mixture between Cowens and Worthy. Basically the same card. So I'm going to toss him in the exact same place as James Worthy, because he's got, again, a better secondary position than Cowens. But other than that, I think they're almost the same. And then like Kevin Garnett. Okay, so Kevin Garnett's one of the best defensive power forwards in the game. There is no question about that. Offensively, I think he's very iffy. I think he's very iffy. So I'm going to put him in B tier. His release is not the greatest. He doesn't move particularly fast with the ball. Not bad by any means. And also the fact that he's like millions of MT worth of locking in to get doesn't really help. So yeah, I'm not going to put him higher than A tier. Lamar Odom, another one of those LaMarcus Aldridge slash base 11 players. Like they're literally preference. These guys right here, Worthy, Aldridge, Pettit, Kirilenko, they're literally preference who you prefer. I'm not going to say one is better than the other. Blake Griffin. Alright, I do like Blake. And as far as pick and pop big men go, he's as good as anyone in the game. Also gets someone that probably has the best contact dunk animation in the game. I'm going to put Blake in A tier. And also, surprisingly enough, I'm going to put this guy right here in A tier as well, Josh Smith. I like Josh Smith more now than I did before. Maybe it's because one of the releases that on Xbox I can agree with consistently. It's one of the only few, but yeah, he's got a really nice release. Obviously a fantastic defender. Just an overall fantastic card. So for that reason, like obviously he's in here in A tier, and in my opinion, one of the best small forwards in the game. Then we got Oscar Robertson. Not the biggest Oscar Robertson fan. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to put him in B tier. I don't think he's a bad card by any means, but in terms of when we're looking at the top cards in the game, is he top 20, 25 in the game? Probably not, so he's on B tier. Dr. J is a really good card. So with Dr. J, everybody, like most people like this card a lot more than I do. I don't think he's as good as a lot of the higher tier 2 guards in the game. Like no one's going to be playing him a small forward. Like if you're comparing him to Kobe, if you're comparing him to Glenn Rice, Dwayne Wade, I don't think he's as good. But again, for a free card, I can't. Oh, do I? I don't know which tier to put him in, B or C tier. I probably will regret it. I'm going to put him in C tier now. But you could definitely argue he's better than that. No question about it. Like, if you prefer Dr. J to some of these cards, they're so close. Again, most of these cards, with Opals, most of these cards have got 95 plus and everything. So it all really depends on if you like the animations or not. So literally it's completely subjective. Then we've got Glenn Rice. S tier, no question about it. Base 98 or Dwayne Wade base. The best release in the game, 6'7". Good-ish handles, not a great handle, but good enough that he can get open. Glenn Rice is arguably the best card in the game, and in my opinion, is the best card in the game. Even over a card that's coming up a bit later. Giannis Antetokounmpo, S tier. They gave him his, if he could play point guard, he'd be like S+ tier, but he can't. But they gave him his behind the back from his pink diamond, thankfully. It was a bit of a weird one, like, he got more, like, space for jump shots with the behind the back that he initially had, the Pro 6 one. However, the behind the back that they gave him, again, the pink diamond one, it allows him to glitch past the CPU. It's one of those weird, it's the one of dribble spam ones, so it's one of the ones that lets you trigger a bunch of spam behind the backs, and if someone's off-balling you, they literally can't do anything, you just go by them. So you can dribble glitch with him now, so he was going to be an S tier anyway, but he's even more S tier now. Scottie Pippen. Probably the best defensive point guard in the game. He can't shoot off the dribble. He can actually shoot pretty well off the catch, but like, I'm not putting a 3-and-D cone. Even though he is the best 3-and-D cone in the game, I am not putting a 3-and-D cone in S tier. I'm sorry, I'm not. Kobe Bryant. I'm actually liking this card more and more. The more I use this card, the more I like him. But he's kind of an undersized 2 guard for what's going on in the game right now. And he's not Michael Jordan, who can get away with it, so he's going into A tier. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain is just like a demi. The fastest center in the game by a mile. I don't care about what the stats say, he is the fastest center in the game. However, he can't shoot the ball from Limitless. And for my playstyle, that puts him a little bit lower. Wilt, unbelievable defender, probably top 6 or 7 center in the game. But at the same time, again, like, this is the best of the best. So, Wilt is going in here in B tier. He is going into B tier. Draymond Green. So Draymond is like a worse version of Scottie. I actually think Draymond's a worse version of a Wayne Unseld as well. He is genuinely the worst version of Scottie. Except, like, if Draymond's secondary position was small forward, you could use him as a cone. But he is really just that point guard that can guard the big guys and doesn't cost that much MT. Problem is that Wes Unseld does his job and does it better. So Draymond, let's see. I'm not going to quite put him on the lowest tier, because he is definitely better than Jason Kidd. He's going to C tier. Shaq. I do like Shaq, but I don't think he's this, like, end game, be all and end all center. Like, I think if D-Rob didn't have said D-Rob would be better than Shaq. I think that if they gave Wilt Limitless, Wilt would be better than Shaq. I think Shaq right now is probably the best center in the game, but I don't think it's a case of Shaq without question is the best center in the game anymore. So he's going S tier. You know what? Hall of Fame Limitless range Magic is going S tier. He's got a glitchy behind the back that, again, he literally just goes by the CPU if you're off balling it every single time. Can shoot the ball really well. Can also shoot it from deep. Great, basically 99, everything that matters. He's going S tier. Kareem is just better Wilt. But again, no Limitless range puts him off S tier. I think even though Wilt can dribble the ball a lot better, I think Kareem is just that much better than my defense. Kareem is unbelievable. He's basically Thanos, but at the same time, he's not quite S tier. S tier have to be perfect cards. S tier has to have no flaws. And you might say Shaq's release is a flaw, but like, it's not that bad. Kareem, definitely A tier though. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is so good. He is so good. He is S tier. Tracy McGrady, also unbelievable. He is S tier as well. The thing with Tracy McGrady is that this card and the other card, if you're playing them at the 2, you will not notice a difference. Trust me, like if you're playing them both as 2 guards, you're not going to notice a difference. This one can play point guard, but to be honest, there's so many great point guards in the game that I would just advise you to save your $500,000 and buy the other Galaxy Opal. Because in my opinion, both Galaxy Opal Tracy McGrady's would be up here in S tier. I'm not sure if Brandon Roy is on this list, but Brandon Roy would probably be B tier because he's smaller and doesn't have Unpluckable. Then, Michael Goat Jordan, S tier. Without question, Michael Jordan is just a better version of Kobe. And again, Kobe's got almost 99 stats and everything. But if you guys really look close at all these cards here, they've got 95 to 99 and everything that matters. I just think their animations are a bit better. But Jordan's release is so good. Like, his defense is so good. He's got an unbelievably high steal tendency. So he's just a demon off ball. He's the best off ball defender in the game. Like, you should never on-ball with Jordan, because off-ball Michael Jordan will literally just steal the ball from your opponent every single time. It is just crazy how good this GOAT Michael Jordan card is. And when I'm probably going to play a battle of no money spent squads against JD Crossover, who has this card. it's going to be grim, lads. Trust me, it is going to be grim trying to come up against this Michael Jordan card and just even attempting to win the game. But next we got Hakeem Olajuwon. I like Hakeem. I really do like Hakeem. He's going to go into A tier. So Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm liking his release more and more. You can't use Hakeem like he's a point center. Even though he has the stats and badges of a point center, he feels clunky. However, he gets in passing lanes well, he blocks shots well, he hits open jumpers well, and he plays well in the post. So for that reason, he's going A tier. But again, you can't use him. If you could like handle the ball with him or shoot off screens with him, maybe he'd be a bit better. He'd be S tier, but playing the role of a center, he does that perfectly well. And we got LeBron. I don't know. I'll put him in S tier, but that's not a foregone conclusion that he's good enough to be S tier. I'm telling you, like, it's a close one. It is actually a close one, because the thing with LeBron, I find him really easy to guard. Like, I've come up against LeBron a lot of times. I'll struggle with Magic because of that behind the back. I'll struggle with Ben Simmons because he just gets those, like, Ben Simmons makes contact with you, he's got that blow-by animation. LeBron James isn't quite as good. Although he is probably better than the other ones on defense because of his wide build, and is arguably, actually no, not arguably, he's one of the best shooting point guards in the game. His release on half quick draw is so money. So I'm going to put him in S tier, but you could definitely debate. I think if he could play small forward, he'd be a lot higher, because I'd use LeBron off the ball. I think LeBron as a wing would be really nice, apart from the fact he can't shoot in the corners. So yeah, I like the card. I don't think it's worth anywhere near $1 million MT, and it's going for probably 1.5 now. But yeah, I'll keep him in S tier. I'll put him in S tier. He's better than Scotty. Ben Simmons, I think he's Magic with a worse release. And I know people will call me crazy for that one right there, for Ben Simmons in A tier, but I'm not a fan of this card. When I use Simmons, I play him power forward. Straight up, like, I used Giannis and Simmons as power forwards, the pink diamond ones. Like, they were the guys that I would use as my power forwards. However, obviously he's a point guard and people use him to point guard cheese, but like, I used to use him power forward and then would use a Magic at point guard. But Simmons really good. I just don't think quite S tier. Dwayne Wade. Oh, this is a tough one because he is a liability on defense. S. I'm going to put him in S tier again just because of how good his release is. Maybe if you're playing in like a competitive setting, if you're playing a tournament game, Wade might struggle, but other than that, he's fine. Danny Granger. C. That's basically it. Like, he's not terrible. He can't dribble the ball, but he can be a good 3-and-D cone, especially as a 6'9" guard. DeMar DeRozan. S. DeMar DeRozan's going S tier. He's going right behind Tracy McGrady because they're literally the same card. They have the same, except actually DeRozan is an inch smaller, but he has better SIGs, so they're even. They're bang even. Like, the same jump shot, almost all the same SIGs, but DeRozan's are slightly better. Either way, they're so similar that I'm just going to put them in the same. They're one the same. Just like Amari Stoudemire, I think, is the same as Blake Griffin, but again, a different release. It's all like subjective whether you think Amari is better than Blake. Then we got Ja Morant, who's going into C tier just because he's undersized. At 6'3", he is just too undersized to play at that 2-guard position, or at that point guard position, to be completely honest. I think Ja is the best of them all. That's why he's here, as in, he's the best of Gilbert Arenas / Derrick Rose / obviously Ja / Steve Francis. There's a bunch of them that are basically the same cards. I'm just going to put Ja there, and if you're wondering where any of them are, they're there. Because I know for a fact people in the comments are going to be asking where those specific cards are. We got Dirk Nowitzki. As a novelty, he's fine, but he's terrible. Dirk's terrible in 2K. Just straight up, he's absolutely terrible. Yeah, he's a 7-foot-tall 2-guard. Like, is that going to be fun to use? Definitely. Is he a novelty? 100%. Is he good? No. He is not good in-game. By no means is Dirk Nowitzki good in-game. Then we got Clay. Clay's a cone. Clay is almost at Scottie Pippen level of 3-and-D cone, so I'm going to put him in B tier. Like, he fits a purpose. Like, if he's like your third best player on your team, you can be fine. But if you're trying to run your offense through Clay, I would say definitely don't. Definitely don't. Is he worth the 200k? Hell no. You can get guys that do 95% of his job for 10k MT. But is he better? Like, for example, is he better than a Craig Elo player? Yes. Is he much better? No. But is he better? Yes. So if you want someone to just stand there and shoot threes, you never need him to dribble, and you just need him to shoot threes and play defense, he's one of the best in the game for that. If not the best, so that's why he's going to be tier. But he can't do anything else. Peja plays the Clay role, except he shoots better and he's 2 inches taller. So I'm going to put Peja B tier because, again, he can't really do much else. However, Peja plays the role very, very similar to Clay. Chris Bosh. I like Bosh, but I'm not going to put him above B tier. Can't shoot from one of the corners, which is a little bit annoying. And I don't know, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't not put Bosh in A tier. Bosh is that dude. Especially the power forward position. He is really, really nice. Michael Porter Jr. Oh, this is a tough one between A or B. These guys, like, I think at this stage, the S tier is probably complete. I think these guys probably completed the S tier, except for maybe one guy a little bit later. But MPJ is better offensively than a Josh Smith, but I'm going to put him in A tier. J.R. Smith. Budget MJ, realistically. Like, he's 6'6" point guard, can dunk, does everything that MJ does, but worse. So he's going A tier. Chris Mullen is a much worse Klay Thompson / Peja. He's going C tier. Again, a solid 3-and-D guy. The thing with Mullen is that, like, I would 100% take, like, a Sean Elliott over Mullen. But he's not terrible. Like, he is not terrible. You can use him. Like, you can get away with using him, especially if you've earned him and you really want to use a card you've earned. You can put him there, but nah, I like him. I don't particularly like the card, but he's not terrible. I'm not going to say he's terrible. Jamal Crawford, just a little bit flimsy, as in he's a little bit small and weak. Not the greatest dunker, but he is a more than solid dribbler and peak shooter. He is a more than solid player to run at the 1. Can do a great job there at that Trey Burke base, so he's got B tier. Hedo Turkoglu. Okay. As much as I want to put him in S tier, I personally prefer using Hedo to someone like a Magic Johnson. However, I'm not going to be dumb and say he's better. Hedo, A tier. Like, I'm not going to be dumb and say that he's an S tier player, because he's not. Actually, this might be S tier. Thon Maker. Yeah, I'll put Thon Maker in. I think that rounds out the top 10. I think I'll put Thon Maker in to make a 10 list right there. But I do really like Thon. I really like him at the 3. I don't particularly like him at point guard. But at the 3, he's got, even though he does only have gold clamps, he's got good length. He gets in lanes well and he shoots the lights out. So I do really like him off the ball. Kristaps, there's something about Kristaps. Okay, Josh Smith is there twice. There is something about Kristaps, lads. And I'm telling you this. KP, I'm putting him B tier. He should be an S tier. And some people love the card. Like, I can't put my finger on what's wrong with the card. He just feels sluggish. Like, that's the problem. Like, again, if you think Kristaps is S tier or A tier, go ahead, put him there. I won't argue against it. But for me, I've never had success with Kristaps. I expected Kristaps to be a better version of this guy right here, Bol Bol, but he just wasn't. And Bol Bol, A. Let's chuck him in A tier, in there behind Michael Porter Jr. He's going A tier, especially when he's evoed up. I was considering putting him in S tier, but looking at S tier, I don't think he's good at any of them. When he gets evoed, he becomes a demi though. It's insane. Taco Fall. Without Evo, Taco's like B tier, because again, he's still a giant. You have to respect that. With Evo, the fact he's got range, Taco is gone into A tier right here. So obviously, you can't really see him too well, but yeah, no, Taco with Evo is ridiculously good because his release is so nice. He gets a higher 3 ball, and when he's open, he is auto greens. Carmelo Anthony. Okay, Melo, C tier. Melo is one of the most inconsistent players in the game, and he also can't shoot from the corners. And that's a big problem. Like, if I see Melo standing in the corner, normally you never want to leave someone open for 3. I'll leave Melo wide open to corners because I know for a fact he's stepping in for 2. And I know, like, I don't mind if I give up a 2. Like, if I give up a 2 by double team in the post, that's fine. As long as you're not giving up a 3, because if you don't double team the post, certain situations, you're basically giving up a 2 anyway. If I'm giving up a jump shot rather than a wide open post hook, I will do it every time, especially because I know Melo can't shoot from that corner. Bird, I don't particularly like Bird. Telling you that right now. And it's the exact same with Kevin Durant. So, are Kevin Durant and Larry Bird better than a Josh Smith? Maybe, maybe not. In my opinion, I think the Michael Porter Jr.'s are better than Kevin Durant. I prefer Heat out of Kevin Durant, and small forward position's kind of a weird one, but I'm not the biggest fan of Larry Bird or KD. And it's so close. So like, if you want to make the argument that Larry Bird or Kevin Durant are A tier, and some people think Kevin Durant's an S tier player, I just don't like the card. I just straight up don't like the card. And I didn't like him from the very start. Like, when he first came out, I was saying that Paul George was better, because I preferred the Paul George card to him. And even to this day, I'll still take the Paul George Pink Diamond over Kevin Durant. Larry Bird there's just something about him I don't like. I didn't like even his Pink Diamond, although I will admit it, he is a good card. But are they that much better than Peja Stojakovic? Probably not. And then we have got, last up, it is David Robinson. David Robinson should be the best center in the game. He should be an S tier card, but he's going into B tier for one reason and one reason only: steady shooter. The worst badge in the history of my team. Because I've used him a few times. I can't green with him. And not only that, I'm watching dudes like Ty Debo, arguably the best player in the world, playing in competitive games and basically getting sold game after game after game by D-Rob. D-Rob, one of the best defensive bigs in the game. One of the best speed bigs. One of the best dribbling bigs. But steady shooter kills him. Like, when I play D-Rob, I leave him wide open. I leave him wide open. And it's Clank City. It is Clank City. The steady shooter badge ruins what should be the best center in my team. And I have a feeling we're getting another D-Rob later on in the year. I'm almost certain of that. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. So this is my tier list of opals. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.